Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, kid?
Answer the question.
What's the question?
At 1:08 a.m., what were you doing?
Sleeping.
Sleeping, okay.
Yeah, I went to bed when they came back and said that the game would restart the second time at 11:30.
Hey, you're the majority of people. I'm not blaming you. I just was curious.
It was 8-4.
Yeah.
Game's over. The Angels aren't coming back.
Oh, really?
I'm surprised the Angels didn't just say, let's end it. We got an afternoon game tomorrow. But no, they did play the game. And Aroldis Chapman, who I told you the day it happened a month ago, when they stopped the sticky stuff crap, right? I go, he's been different. I asked Boone about it last week and the week before. He's been different. And he was brutal yesterday. You know how it ended. Embarrassing. An embarrassing performance by the New York Yankees. Yes, they scored 7 runs in the first.
They did nothing after that.
Nothing after that.
They hit in a 15 double plays after that.
Yeah. So the 8 innings were the season. The first inning was the anomaly, which is why I did not get all crazy after they scored 11 runs a couple days ago.
And also the first inning was Shohei Ohtani not being able to throw a strike. And look, they took advantage of it. DJ LeMahieu hit that ground ball over first and drove in 3 runs. But for the most part, that was Shohei Ohtani, for whatever reason, whatting all over the mound at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Walk.
Yeah.
Good for them.
He walked 4 guys.
Look,
they took advantage of it, but the Yankees didn't exactly pound you for 7 runs. And then, not that you thought it would matter, because you didn't think it would matter. I didn't think it would matter. They did nothing for the final 8 innings.
Yeah, which I kind of felt that was going to happen, too. In my heart, I'm like, I even said to my son last night, I go, they're done. Like, they're done.
Right, and it should have been enough.
And it should be enough.
Sure.
Let's cruise through this game.
Sure.
Let's get it over with. The Angels have no interest in trying to come back from 7 runs, but they did. They did. And Aroldis Chapman, yeah, you want to blame Aroldis? You should. He was terrible.
Of course, he imploded.
Okay, yeah, he was terrible.
He walked 3 guys and gave up a grand slam to Jared Walsh, the first time he's ever given up a grand slam in his career, by the way.
He also leaves the game. It's tied. Right?
Yes, and that was the thing that stunned me because
tie game, nobody on base.
When Chapman gives up the grand slam, even though the 1,800 people that are there are stunned, I'm
just
stunned.
Say this. If you stayed at that game to the very end, my man,
you're a legend.
Well done. Hopefully you'll chime in today because we would like to talk to people.
You know what's funny about
there.
that? If you stayed for the entire game and the Yankees won, now Chapman got 3 outs.
Yeah,
you'd probably never remember this 5 years from now. You'd say, yeah, I went to a Yankee game, whatever, I had a bunch of beers. It'd be very unmemorable. You will never forget. If you were at that game and stayed until the end, you will never forget last night. Now, for all the bad reasons, but that will be a memory that will never go away. But you hit on it. When Jared Walsh hits his 2nd home run of the game, a grand slam, it is a tie game in your own building. It's not as if that's it, game over, see you later, and Lucas Litke implodes. And then what I thought was even worse, even though he gave up 3 runs, is the bottom of the 9th inning took 35 seconds. 9 pitches, bing, 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 good night.
Yeah, because they quit. They were done.
Felt that way.
They folded like a cheap suit. They
Felt
did.
that way.
Listen, here's the deal. I know how Steinbrenner spoke today, and I heard what he said. I'm aggravated, frustrated, angry, but that's not going to push me into a knee-jerk reaction. I'm mad at what I see. Just because you all want me to do what my father would have done, that didn't always work out as much as you guys want to look at it. It's funny how you look at George Steinbrenner now. When he was doing it, a good portion of people thought he was out of his mind. It's crazy. Tempestuous, and that's not how you build a winner, blah, blah, blah. And to be fair to Hal Steinbrenner, it didn't work a lot of the time.
Right.
I would even say most of the time.
Okay.
His, firing people didn't make them winners and World Series champions. But he's a different dude than his son is, as many fathers and sons are. Hal Steinbrenner is not going to go off the handle. And if you're expecting him to, you don't know the guy. And he's been around long enough. You should know what his personality is.
Here's what Yankee fans want. They don't necessarily want Hal to be George. He's not George, and I think it's very fair if we're going to analyze the history of George Steinbrenner to understand that a lot of the decisions he made, especially early on, were not the best ones. But here's what I think the Yankee fan wants. It's what I'd want. I'd want you to try something. And I've been saying this to you for a month. Try something. firing the manager may not be the answer, but it's something. Making a big trade may not be the answer, but it's something. Calling up a minor leaguer like Estevan Florial may not be the answer, but it's something. All I hear from Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner today is the same old crap.
Yep.
And you know what the same old crap is? We're good. We're fine. The players need to be better. We love everybody. We'll be okay. I think Yankee fans are sick of hearing it.
Yeah.
We've been hearing the same stuff now for over a month, whether it's from Brian Cashman multiple times or Hal Steinbrenner today. What did Hal say today?
Nothing.
That's going to make you say, all right, let's go if you're a Yankee fan.
Nothing. Matter of fact, he reinforced to me the personality of the New York Yankee organization today. And that's not always been that way. And it could change, I suppose, somewhere else down the line this summer. But in the moment, it's why I keep talking about they have no soul. They have no personality. They don't. They don't. And that's a fact. And it's sitting out there like a big matzo ball right now. And nobody on the organizational side wants to acknowledge it, because if you want to tell us that you believe today that you have put together a good enough team to dominate, which is what they think, to win a World Series, which is what they think, then maybe we got the wrong people making decisions. I don't know.
Bingo. That's the problem, because Hal basically said over and over again, it's about the players. The players have to perform. It's something you've actually said a lot.
And that, by the way, that's for every sport. You're only going to win if the players perform.
What if the players aren't good enough? What if you reevaluated, and maybe your evaluation of the players that you thought were good enough, maybe they were wrong?
Yep.
Because you got to go back now to 2019 to find the New York Yankees playing like the New York Yankees. They were mediocre last year. They've been the definition of mediocre this year. So when you continue to say the players have to be better, they haven't been what you thought they've been in years now.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not that good.
Maybe they're not that good. But here's the good news if you're a Yankee fan, with the game being postponed today. Aaron Judge gets another day off.
Oh, God.
Isn't that great?
And you know what's crazy, Craig? We sat here yesterday, and we're not meteorologists, we're not experts, but one of the things we pointed out about that dopey decision to sit Aaron Judge was, hey, there's a good chance they're not going to play on Thursday.
Yeah, how do you know that I'm not a meteorologist?
Because you're not.
But how do you know that?
Because trust me.
You just take an assumption I didn't study meteors in college? Is that what you're suggesting?
And I think I am safely correct. I actually took a course in meteorology.
Yeah?
I really did. Meteorology.
Yeah.
And I got
You know the name of the course?
I got a D plus in the subject.
Hey.
But I took it, and I passed.
Derek Coleman always told me at Syracuse, a D will get you 3.
That's right.
Meaning 3 credits. That's all you need.
That's what I got.
Listen, we knew today's game was going to be in doubt, tomorrow's as well. So there was no reason to rest Judge. And for every one of you cracker asses out there that sent me some kind of funny note on Twitter last night after the Yankees put up 7 quick runs, oh, they really need Judge tonight. I waited. I didn't respond. I still haven't responded.
Very smart.
You want to take those tweets back?
Craig,
Maybe they could have used Aaron Judge last night.
One thing we all have to realize about Twitter, and I hope Steve Cohen is listening, is that when you tweet out early in the night making an assumption because something happened early in the night, that tweet may not age well.
Such as?
When Steve Cohen at 7:45 after Pete Alonso, it's a 2-run home run, the Mets are up 2-0, and he comes out and tweets, is that offense for you?
Yeah.
I saw it live, all right, and I cringed because I said to myself, Stevie, do you watch the New York Mets? This may be it. This may be it. And guess what? That was it. And oh, by the way, they gave up 20.
How many?
20.
What?
20 unanswered runs. So, to anyone who tweeted you last night about, hey, well, we don't need Judge, we just scored 7 runs. Dude, you scored 7 runs because Shohei Ohtani couldn't throw a strike.
Yep.
That's bad. And look, great. You took advantage of it. Don't act like things can't change throughout a game. And it wasn't even about the fact that the Yankees couldn't have scored runs without Aaron Judge. It was the symbolism of it. There was no reason in a game that supposedly matters when that guy himself said, now we got to start doing our job. And the manager said, the season's on the line. There is no way in hell Aaron Judge can't be in the lineup last night. It's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing. And they're not going to deal with it because now they don't have to talk to the media today. They all got to go home today. And tomorrow it's about the Subway Series.
No. Aaron will be with us, and we'll ask him about it.
Oh, we'll ask Aaron Boone about it for sure.
We
But
will.
he's just saying, well, I really felt like he needed a day off. Why?
And what I would say to that, and I'm curious what he's going to say when you or I ask this question, what did Aaron Judge say to you, Aaron, when you told him that?
Thanks,
because If Aaron Judge said, okay, Skip, that is a terrible look for Aaron Judge. A lot of this is going to fall on Aaron Judge himself, the face of the New York Yankees, because most competitors are going to say to their manager, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not in the lineup tonight?
Yep. Well, listen, now they get 2 days off. Oh, he gets 2 days off at least. Here, the best thing that happened to the Mets yesterday was the New York Yankees, because that type of implosion has people very angry. You know, the Mets obviously gave up 21 runs, and Almora, couldn't find the play. That was funny, by the way.
Yeah, it was great.
Wasn't that funny?
That was hilarious.
They bring Almora in to pitch.
Why are you watching this? You don't even watch close Met games. Now you're watching a 20-2 game?
I watched it today.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to figure why SNY didn't have us on for 4 hours. And I watched Almora come in. Oh, good. They're replaying it for a second time. I watched Almora come in, and he's a Major League Baseball player who couldn't throw the ball 60 feet, 6 inches.
Yeah. Well,
Couldn't throw
did
a
you
strike.
watch Thomas Zapucki make his Major League debut? That was uglier, in my opinion, because he's a pitching prospect.
But
you know what?
The good news for the Mets is that the Yankees' implosion is historic.
No. Here's the good news for the Mets.
I
Craig,
thought so.
you invented a line many years ago.
Yeah.
You invented this line.
Mets
You
fans for
said-
Yankees.
Not that dopey line.
Oh.
You said there are 60 games that you're going to win.
Yep.
There are 60 games you're going to lose.
Everybody.
And it's what you do in those other 40 games. I'm not angry about last night's Met game. I really am not. I'm a diehard Met fan. Last night was just one of those ass whoopings. Like, it happens. I'm concerned that David Peterson's hurt because the Met rotation depth is being tested. I was annoyed at Steve Cohen for tweeting so early in a baseball game arrogantly about the Met offense. But blowouts happen. What's important for the Mets is to win tonight if they play. You've got your best pitcher on the mound and a chance to win a series against the Atlanta Braves. Tonight, in the context of it being July 1st, is a big game for the New York Mets.
Look who's calling me on my cell phone right now.
Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, I'm on the radio.
Nah, Boomer still thinks the Yankee game wasn't rained out.
You think Boomer's unaware the Yankees are playing?
Yes.
Like, how you know I'm working. And I called you an hour and a half ago. Right? He's returning my call. So at least he's returning my call.
You're saying he's oblivious to
He's
the
probably playing
showtime.
golf, I'm assuming. And he doesn't-
Where? It's raining everywhere.
He probably was playing golf when I called him.
Gotcha.
Got rained out, came back to the clubhouse, took a shower, had lunch, and then got his phone.
Right.
And then recognized, Craigie called me. Let me call him back, not even thinking that the Yankee game had been postponed.
Huh.
Yeah. It's either that or he just doesn't care that I'm working. I'm not sure which one it is.
Or maybe he wanted you to pick up, put him on speaker, and come on the air. Who knows?
Yeah, I should have done that, right?
You really should have.
I guess I should
I
have
thought
done
you were
that.
quick-witted.
I don't know. Listen, we got lots to do today. Sean's in Westbrook, Connecticut. Sean, what's up?
Hey, Craigie, I haven't talked to you since you were on the morning, but what you did yesterday prompted me to call you today.
Yeah.
When you talked to that caller who thought he was on the Michael K show.
Yes.
And people who haven't seen it, it's on Twitter. The way you handled that from a comedy entertainment point of view could not have been any better. The way you led him, the questioning was hysterical. That was fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that very much. If you missed it, it is on Twitter. I put it out. The station put it out. I'm sure Evan put it out.
Yes.
And a guy called in. He thought he was calling a different show, and we decided to let him believe in what he thought.
A lot of people,
And we had a lot of
people
fun.
very much enjoyed that video.
Yes,
I can
yes.
tell you now.
Wasn't the best editing job Izzo's ever done or whoever edited it.
Izzo.
But it was fine. It was good enough. And I don't know, like 50,000 people watched it already or something like that. People got a kick out of it. The fact that I, as Michael K., had a threesome with Mickey Mantle and a transsexual Elizabeth Taylor.
Yes.
People seem to enjoy that.
Well, I got a few
Yes.
complaints about that part.
Is that right?
Yes.
You got complaints?
Yes, I got direct message complaints because my DMs are open, so I get a lot of that. And there's also one guy, there was only one guy who claimed it was all fake. And I'm saying to myself, Fake?
Come on.
How could you fake something like
Well, it
that?
wasn't, I can tell you this, it wasn't fake. That's one thing we don't do is fake.
No.
That we don't do. Others might, but yeah, like when you hear a guy, I'll give you an example of fake. There's an old radio bit called War of the Roses. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not, no.
So War of the Roses, a lot of like top 40 radio morning shows will do this now. But it's a 50-year-old bit. The War of the Roses is that you say that one lucky girl's going to win a dozen roses. All right? Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. You call up a random girl and you say, listen, you have good news. Someone's sending you a dozen roses, okay? And you say to the person, who do you think it was? and the person says Jimmy, or it's flip the sexes on that, and Sarah, whatever it is. And actually, the girlfriend or boyfriend's name is something else. So the unsuspecting party thinks that her boyfriend or his girlfriend is sending roses to someone else, not them.
Got you.
And then hilarity ensues.
Right.
How dare you send roses to Susie?
Right.
Well, my name's not Sue, that kind of thing.
Right.
It's a setup, though.
Of course.
They're actors
Right.
playing a role in it. And it's an old school
That
bit.
gentleman yesterday was not an actor. He was just oblivious. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all.
So it was.
I thought your distinct voice would give it away, but apparently it didn't.
You would think. Here's how do I pronounce your name? Donato?
Donato.
All right, Donato. What's up, kid?
Not much. Great show. Listen, all I got to say, it'll be real quick, is when you guys were doing that segment with that guy who thought he called the other show,
Yeah.
I just flicked over to the other network real quick because I was watching it on TV.
Yeah.
And just as you were talking about the cell phone, guess who was on their cell phone? I couldn't believe it. I thought you were exaggerating.
Listen.
Can't be any better.
There you
Anyway,
go.
Thanks.
Thanks to that. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, that apparently resonated with a lot of people. So I'm so glad it did. Probably gave them a few more viewers or listeners for the first time ever. But we do our thing, and I'm glad you guys all enjoyed that. The New York Yankees imploded last night, and so did the Mets, by the way. They lost 20-2, and only because the Yankees blew the game in the manner they did, and after the rain delays, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, are the Mets not going to feel the brunt of,
Yeah, but it's
I think, negative
blowout.
energy today?
Look, the negative energy,
Yeah.
in fairness to the Mets, I'll correct you on this, is not losing 20-2, in my opinion. I can't speak for every Met fan, obviously. The negative energy is the Mets haven't played well for 2.5 weeks, and that's a fair critique.
But they did what you asked them to do. I
What was
checked.
that? What was that?
You said on June 1st on this show,
Yes.
if the Mets can play 500 ball in June,
Yes.
I'll feel really good going into July thinking
Yes.
I'm getting my guys back.
Yes.
The New York Mets
I'll tell you the
were
difference.
15-15 in June.
I'll tell you the difference.
Exactly what you asked for.
I did. You're 100% right, but here's how they got there that changes this. First of all, they were playing better the first half of the month. Second point is they got their guys back now offensively. For the most part, Brandon Nimmo's going to return this weekend. J.D. Davis is on his way, but Jeff McNeil's back. Michael Conforto's back. They've basically got their bats back, and they're not hitting. So I think the way they played in the latter part of the month, plus the fact that now that they're relatively healthy, they're still not hitting, is concerning. And then the other problem is they don't have any pitching depth. David Peterson's up and down. He got hurt last night, which to me, Craig, was the biggest issue out of last night. It wasn't losing 20-2. It just wasn't. Look, those blowouts happen. Like, that's a part of baseball. It's the fact that they lost another starting pitcher to injury, and over the next 28 days, 29 days, the New York Mets are going to have to trade for a starting pitcher because Noah Syndergaard's not walking through that door. Carlos Carrasco, I don't think, is walking through that door. And so we are going to have to see Steve Cohen in his first trade deadline and Sandy Alderson back in the big chair make a move for a starting pitcher.